right. Whoa. Oh, we got a good one today. I don't know why. Listen. That whole light situation in that part of my apartment, I'm accepting it. That's just the way it is. That's how it's going to be until I move to my next place. That's just how it is. Okay. I'm very excited. I'm always excited whenever, and this is just true for just life, anybody, people. It's always exciting when you feel like you can offer something new and different and interesting and iconoclastic. I don't know. That's fun for everybody. But this one I feel very strongly about. And okay, so let me just get into this little preamble. If you have not listened to Kevin Hart's audiobook, The Decision, stop this video right seriously. If you are watching this not live, if you're watching it live, come hang out and play with me. But if you're watching this afterward, pause this video, leave OP, listen to that book. It's 5 hours long. It's very short. You can do it in a day when you're, on a Saturday, tomorrow, when you're running around, doing your errands, fucking around the house, whatever. It's 5 hours. It's very short. It's not Obama's book. It's super funny. Listen to that book at least once. I'm on my second listen already. Once you have listened to it, then come back and watch my video. Because this book is correct. Like, it's one of those things that you see and you just go, that's it. That is correct. I have no rebuttal. Anything that contradicts this is probably not correct. Like, the man just fucking did it. Like, he just put all of the knowledge into a book. It's amazing. It's amazing. Also, it's Kevin Hart, and he's fucking funny, and he's fantastic, and has had, a ridiculous amount of material success. So, like, if your goal is material, worldly success, using him as a blueprint, you could do worse, just period. And then when you actually listen to the book, you're like, oh, fuck. Yep, that's it. That's correct. That's correct. That's how we should do it. I get it. And he makes the same disclaimer that I'm about to make. And that is, I am not a mental health professional. I do not purport to be a mental health professional. I am a guy who is in the self-growth community and has been for a while. And I have seen what works objectively for me, for others. That's all I'm going on here. All right, this is my opinion. And I'm approaching this from a perspective of what works for me, what is working for me, what isn't working for me. And here's the thing. It may not work for you. I totally get it. If anything that I say in these videos, passive, whatever, on my Facebook page, private, if it doesn't work for you, ignore me. Ignore me. If you're getting results doing something else that are sustainable and ethical, and like you're not like fucking murdering people, obviously do that instead. So, all that out the way. I have a brand new perspective on negativity. And I didn't understand I didn't understand the ways in which negativity was just baked into my life. I didn't understand. And the ways in which we have so much agency so much of the time when it comes to how we choose to perceive a situation. I had no idea how much control and agency we actually have. And there's a lot to this book, and I'm sure that if you or I actually spoke to Kevin about this over an extended period of time and really got into the nuances of it, I'm sure that it would get grittier than the way that I'm about to distill it. But this was my takeaway in a very simplistic way. And that takeaway is, do not surround yourself, like basically, do not have negativity in your life. Negativity has no place in your life. That's the very broad strokes premise of what he's trying to say. And the reason that I'm so into this is because he makes a distinct, he's so clear, at least to me, about what negativity means to him and what he means when he talks about negativity and getting rid of negativity and how to really explicitly keep negativity out. Because there are so many very broadly, like he's very interested in being successful. Obviously, each person defines success differently, whatever, right? I know, Reggie, I know. Hear me out. This shit's about to get wild. He cares about getting shit done, moving forward, continuing to grow, being able to contribute, building, like all of the things that everybody just wants, that like the core human needs, right? Tony Robbins shit, right? So what I love about how he defines negativity is the band of things that actually qualify as negative is really, really small. And that's what I love about it. Hard work is not negativity. Discomfort is not negativity. Failure is not negativity. All of these things, and this is sort of where I have to really check myself when I engage with OP. And when I talk about OP and when I sort of like really examine sort of my own beliefs about how to best use the tool of OP and really figuring out like, how does this work best for me, right? Because I think it's very easy to get caught up in the language of and to immediately associate things like discomfort and rejection and failure, and even when we're talking about, even he gets even down to like talking about emotions, right? He's like, anger is not a negative emotion necessarily. Again, I'm paraphrasing and projecting a little bit. It's only a 5-hour book. We're doing the best we can. But one of my big takeaways is the way that he talks about anger is not in and of itself a negative emotion. And if you look beyond what he says, I think there's a lot of truth to that. The way that I have heard anger described by mental health professionals is anger is an incredibly useful emotion to help your body recognize when it believes a boundary has been crossed. That's turbo fucking useful. Are you kidding me? If we didn't get angry at things, we would be a doormat. Like, we would have no boundary. Again, one of my big issues in life is that I don't get angry enough about things that rightly should anger me. I'm getting better at it. I'm learning to recognize when something really does upset me and that I can go, great, I'm angry about this thing. Let me take a second to cool off, and then let me actually look at what made me angry. Did somebody violate, did someone commit a breach of etiquette? Did somebody cross a line that I didn't appreciate? Is it reasonable? Like, is it reasonable for me to expect them to not cross that line, right? One of the big things that I realized as I was leaving New York and coming to LA and really processing the move and blah, 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 people can't respect boundaries if they don't know they exist. Let me try that again to make sure that I get it as clear, blaster as possible. People can't respect boundaries if they don't know they exist. That was a big one for me because it made me realize all of the different ways in which I was just sort of like taking shit that I didn't like and having to sublimate it, press it down, whatever, ignore it, diffuse it, make a joke, or whatever. But really, I was like, oh man, like, boundaries are being crossed. Boundaries are being disrespected. And then, my initial impulse would be like, I can't believe that person would make a joke about my alcoholism. Right? That's happened before. There have been people who, in good fun, they would sort of make fun of my alcoholism or be like, hey, it's like, whatever, it's just a beer, you'll be fine, you're not really an alcoholic. And I took offense to that. I didn't like that because I take my sobriety very seriously. I've been sober now over 5 years. It's changed my life for the better. It's something I feel very passionate about. For myself, it's a rule that I hold myself to on, so far unfailingly, right? And I didn't appreciate that this person trivialized this thing that I was going through. And I was mad about it. And I got a little heated. And then I said, and then I told this, but then I realized, like, you know what? I haven't expressed to this person clearly that kind of joke is not okay. This person is a very jokey person. I care about this person very deeply. This person is still very much a part of my life. And they just crossed a line. It happens. It happens. Whatever. And then the second time, right? So after I told them that, and again, I got a little heated, but, again, because in my mind, I'm like, that feels like a thing that we all know to, like, maybe don't make fun of the alcoholic. Like, I don't know. I feel like taking alcoholism seriously is a pretty generally accepted thing that we all know to do. But whatever. This person didn't know. They thought they were being funny. Whatever. And then the second time, I expressed my anger a little more forcefully. I was like, listen, I have made it clear that this is a boundary that I don't appreciate being crossed or even tested. I don't like it. I'm not here for it. If you continue to do this, that will damage our relationship irreparably. That is how seriously I take this boundary. And if you don't take this boundary seriously, then we have much bigger problems. And thankfully, that person understood. That person has not made a single crack about my drinking. They have not spoken disparagingly about it to me. Since then, that happened over 2 years ago, and we've been great ever since. And so I bring this up in the context of negativity, right? Because I do not consider that encounter negative at all. I don't consider it negative at all. It's just stuff that's happening. We don't need to editorialize everything that we do. And it's turbo dangerous now because of the internet and because the algorithm puts a megaphone to the things that get the most extreme visceral reaction. It's going to amplify anger. It's going to amplify. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It's going to amplify negative opinions. It's going to amplify, oh, that person got fucked up and that person's getting torn down. And right, again, the negative opinions, rather than positive, warm, compassionate ones. Right. And I'm listening to this book and I'm hearing him talk about these things. And here's the thing. He talks about a lot of struggles. He talks very openly, not so much in this book, just because, again, it's a short book. But he has talked very openly about the fuck ups he's had, the mistakes that he has made. And in every instance, his immediate response is, you know what? I fucked that up. This is what I'm going to do better. And then he just starts working on the problem. And the reason I believe that he is so successful, more than any other reason, is that his gap between identifying a problem and working towards the solution is nothing. It's nothing. It's, here's a problem. There's a quick second of, do I care or don't I? Does this affect me or doesn't it? Does it affect, is this in line with my, whatever value judgment he makes in a very binary way? And then once he decides it matters, he just starts working on it. That's it. And for him, the way that he seems to have hacked his brain, his life, whatever, is that once he starts working on something, he doesn't have time to be negative about it. And I bring this up in the context of OP because there has been a lot in just the culture and the community where I think that a lot of us are in a position of re-examining our relationship to negativity, redefining those terms, understanding what it means for us. In fact, so right now, where I'm at with it is I am in the process of questioning the utility in the term savior and demon. I'm exploring it. Because the more that I think about it, the more I have to wonder if it isn't keeping people from making the changes in their life that they need to. Because here's the thing. OP in general, the premise of OP in a lot of ways has always been about light and dark and balance and owning the darkness and embracing the darkness. And once you take on the darkness, then nobody can fuck with you. And because you own the dark parts of yourself and you're not trying to live in the light. And let me be very, 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 very clear. I am not talking about tools needed to type someone accurately. I am not talking about that. I am terrible at typing. We all know I'm terrible at typing. We have seen the results from the class about how shit I am at typing. The second I say something that's like, here's the thing that can help you type somebody, kick me in the shins. Because clearly, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And that's fine. But on the personal growth side, I want to question the utility. I just want to question it. If at the end of questioning it and looking all around it and looking at the different angles, we're like, no, you know what? The savior demon terminology is actually really useful for most people. Dope. I love it. But I want to question the premise. And I want to question the premise because there have been a couple of clips that Shave has put out where they're talking about sort of the negative impact of getting one's type, right? Dave was talking about it on Reggie's show podcast. Is it a podcast or is it just a YouTube show? Whatever. On Reggie, when Reggie was interviewing him, talking about the AI stuff, right? And how, you know, one of the reasons that they're not, you know, going ham with, you know, with just releasing the AI so that anybody can get typed, and why they do have all of these, you know, fail safes put up, why you have to be in the class for so long, and boom, 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 is because they have observed that most people tend to respond very, very negatively to receiving their type. Most people, it takes them fucking forever to accept it, and they fight it, and they hate it. And I recognize that some of my skepticism is coming from a very subjective place. I had a very easy time accepting my type. Very easy time. In fact, it was the only time that somebody has ever been able to reconcile my lead NI with the amount of extroversion that I naturally possess. It's the only system that can do this. Every other system fucks it up. It's either I'm lead NI, but I can't be an INT. It's like I can't have lead NI because I have too much extroverted energy, and I can't be an INTJ and whatever. Or it goes the other direction, and it's like, oh, well, you're clearly an ENTJ, and your lead function is TE. And I'm like, no, it ain't. Never has been. Never. If you look at my notes from fucking 2009. No, that I wasn't into it then. The instance happened in 2009. 2012. It was 2012-ish. Late 2012, early 2013. If you look at my notes when I was doing the things and learning about all the things, I would be like hardcore underlining the NI. And I was like, but the way that they're defining their terms, whatever, right? So I get that I'm coming from, oh, what is my hair doing? Guys, the chaos. I get that I am coming from a place of, what are you talking about? Your type is, it doesn't, yeah, no, this is just a tool. It's fine. And if you disagree, go, like, it doesn't matter? Like, what? I don't, okay. So again, I get that. But I also have to wonder how much more accepting people would be of receiving their type if it were framed differently. And I'm not saying that it should be. And I am certainly not suggesting that Dave and Shan be anything but who Dave and Shan are. Absolutely not. It's working for them. It's authentic. That is who they are. That is the energy they want to bring into the world. They are significantly more successful at the personality game than I am. I don't get to tell them shit. Period. But in terms of the response, I have to wonder if I'm imagining this, right? If you give someone their type, right? Let's say you type somebody as, let's say, how about this? Like a Tai Lopez INTJ, right? Double feminine, lead masculine NI, blast sleep, whatever, right? Blast sleep, know-it-all douchebag. These are the keys, whatever. I'm imagining framing that to somebody, right? And going, okay, so we have typed you as an INTJ. Your lead masculine NI is fucking amazing. Your ability to just visualize and make manifest whatever the fuck you want is extraordinary. It's amazing. Your ability to just fucking laser focus, and you have the benefit of being a double decider. Like, you don't get stuck on the TE and the FI. That's fucking amazing. Oh my God, what a goddamn superpower. Great. And that is actually something that they do. I'm obviously a little bit more effusive about it, but like, they do that. But I'm wondering for the second part, right? Yeah, it's great for audio only. Yeah, podcasts are dope. Oh, this format is great for audio. Oh. No, don't look at the chat. I fucked it up. All right, but anyway, but for the second part, right? But for the part when they're talking about the less activated functions. No, I don't know what to do. My lead feminine NI wants to stay on track. My double activated masculine SE wants to look at chat. What do? How do? I can't. Right, but when we're talking about the less activated functions, the framing that I'm starting to look at it from is like, okay, because of your strengths, these are the muscles that you will need to work on to maximize your success. That's it. Everybody's got strengths and weaknesses, and it's just a matter of addressing those weaknesses. These are the ways that you have to get into the gym. In the case of the INTJ, probably literally. But yeah, I actually love Gray's terminology a lot, like the leader versus follower. It's fucking great. It's fucking great. Because it's so viscerally like, yeah, we know what leaders, and like we don't begrudge people for being a follower. Like, there's nothing really negative or bad or judgmental or harsh about being a follower. If we're really being honest, because we cannot be leaders in every respect, in every facet of our life. Listen, I'm about to start up with the personal training again, right? I'm not the leader in that scenario. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not. That person is very jacked. They have very smooth, ripped muscles. And they've had a lot more knowledge downloaded into them about how to maximize the effects of exercise. So like, I don't need to be like, I don't know, I'm a follower. I also don't, and this is a whole other thing, but like, I think that this idea of like, you're either a leader or a follower, insert rest of Kanye lyric here, right? Like, I think it's so situational. It's so dependent on the situation. There are situations in which it's my responsibility and job and prerogative, et cetera, to lead. And then there are times when it's not my job to lead. And I got to know the difference. I don't get to just be like, well, I'm a leader in every situation, and it's my job to always be the leader. Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to say it because it's like 5% more vulgar than I like to go on this channel. But if you want to look up the Kanye lyric, you absolutely can, and I recommend you do. So, but going back to this idea of like why I'm done with negativity, it's because I'm realizing that negativity is the enemy of progress. And again, I'm defining the band of what I'm talking about when I say negativity. I'm talking about negative opinions. I'm talking about the dwelling in the I can't and that person shouldn't and they're getting and what about me? Like all of that certainly counts as a kind of negativity. Just shit talking. Just listen. I have a friend. I adore this friend a lot, and 80% of the stuff that comes out of his mouth is great. 80%, maybe 75. 75 to 80% of what he says is great. And I love it. And we have a great relationship. But man, 20% of what he says is just shit talk. Like he's just negative. He's like, man, it's frustrating. Like, I hate that this thing doesn't work for me. And then he'll rage quit a game or whatever that he's playing. And I'm like, so don't play. What? Why? Why are you investing any energy into the negativity? If this bothers you, fix it or don't do it. Nobody is making you do this thing. Literally, nobody's making you do this thing. Nobody's making you do this thing. And I understand that there might be some discomfort. Listen, that was me with social media. Is me with social media. I'm still working through it. This idea of like, really understanding and accepting that social media is not what it used to be. And that I am slow dancing in a burning room. I like judgment. I like judgment. Yes. Let's kick that around for sure. I think that there's. Where was I going with this? We're talking about fixing stuff and negativity. The ego game. I don't know. Totally lost my train of thought. I apologize. It was something that was. Oh yeah, right. Why are you investing any energy in the negative in the negativity? Why? And I mean that sincerely. I was talking about Facebook and how Facebook isn't what it used to be, and that's been really hard for me because I've been on Facebook specifically since 2004. Facebook has been an enormously positive force in my life for the vast majority of the time that I was on there. From 2004 to 2012, it was fucking amazing. And even through, I would say that Facebook didn't really start to break down for me until like 2014, 2015-ish. Once it got to 2015, then it started to break down a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. But for the most part, like, Facebook was amazing. And it was a place for discussions and genuine connection, and it was a platform to express your views and to get your views examined from a number of different angles, and it was great. And that just isn't what social media is. It's funny, I actually have been spending more time on Instagram now because I've tricked the algorithm into only thinking I want to see foster kittens. That's all I get. My entire news feed, it's like 80% foster kittens and 20% pretty scenery of either like Montana or Ireland. But the majority of my feed, it's just foster kitties. It's just foster kitties. And I fucking love it. It's the best. And I go on there and I'm like, you know what? This is not that I want to spend all day looking at kitties. Although, Lord knows, I could spend all day looking at kitties. But if I'm going to spend time doing social media candy bullshit, yeah, you could do a lot worse than foster kitties. You could do a lot worse than foster kitties. And, I'm really realizing that, like, what Facebook is now is not what it was when I fell in love with it, when it was beneficial to, because like it's not beneficial to me anymore. There's so little benefit to Facebook, even to the point that I canceled. I had a show that I did every day where I just talked for half an hour using OP talk, like the civilian version of OP talk, but just to like process what's going on with the pandemic and tough times and whatever. And one of the big reasons that I stopped doing that show was because I didn't want it to be on Facebook. I didn't want to be on Facebook. There was too much fucking negativity on Facebook. And I was like, I can't. And again, going back to our friend, Mr. Hart, going through that process and accepting it and understanding it and going through the stages of grief, that's not negativity. That you're just going through the process. That's it. There's no reason to assign judgment to these things. If it's going to be negative, there's no reason. There's no reason. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. So my big thrust right now, the only thing I care about is, yes, pain does not have to be suffering. It just doesn't. Pain is really, in fact, how about this? Pain is really important. In a positive way, because pain tells me. So, for instance, right? So I've been going to the gym, working out a little bit, trying to get my swole on. But my left shoulder just isn't as strong. It just isn't as strong as my right shoulder. And as I'm starting to work out a little bit more and like trying to get, back to where I was. It's taken a little bit. That's fine, right? Shy Demon SE Flex. Yeah, that's real. That's real. But as I'm doing it and sort of just getting back into the motion, I'm like, oh, you know what? My left shoulder is kind of tweaking. Like, I think there's something I'm doing a little wrong. Right? Because it wasn't just that it was weak. It's like, oh, I think my form is bad. So I took a second. I was starting to think about my form. I was like, oh no, my shoulders are not in front of my torso. Okay, great. If I didn't recognize that pain and engage with it honestly and directly, without being like, oh, I wish I had a stronger shoulder and oh, fuck, I hate working on this thing and it sucks and it's tough, but I have to do. No, you don't have to do any of that. You don't have to do any of that. Thank you for demonstrating peacocking. Right? You can just go straight to, oh, my shoulder's tweaking a little bit. Oh, okay. What do I need to do to fix that? Is it a strength issue? Oh no. It's a form. It's a form issue. Great. Dope. Oh yeah, when I bring it down. Oh right. Yeah, now I can really feel the core stabilization. Dope. Fantastic. The answer was sleep all along. Not wrong. Not wrong. Right? But I think that there is something, and again, maybe this is just the Facebook group. I will freely admit that the social media component of this compounds the negativity. 100%. Because in every interaction, in every email interaction I've had with David, they've been amazing and lovely and warm and not negative at all. So I am willing to accept that this is like a Facebook, magnified thing. But I think that there is a lot of this, and even just culturally, going even beyond the OP group, just in the culture of social media, it's all about, it really is there's a lot of negativity and a lot of accept that this sucks and do it anyway and lead into this. No. Why do we have to make it suck? Why? What, in practical terms, what does embracing the amount that it sucks actually do in terms of getting the thing done? I have not found any reason to really, I don't know, that the whole yeah, it sucks, but it's worth it, and you just got to go through the difficulty and the negativity, and you become, no, just fucking do the thing. It doesn't matter. And if you don't want it, once you stop wanting to do the thing, don't do the thing. It's very, very simple. Listen, I left New York after a decade because it stopped being worth it. The pain that I was experiencing, and that I had been ignoring, I was like, hang on, let me actually look at this pain. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, I don't like this process. I don't like the process of being a New Yorker. Maybe I used to, different time. I was a different person, right? I am not the same man, and it is not the same river. Can't step in the same, can't do it twice. Cool. So then, once I recognized that, I was like, okay, obviously I would prefer to not be here. But once I started making moves to get myself out of there, it became a lot more bearable. And I didn't have to worry about the negativity of how bad I was feeling or get sucked into that, or maybe I can't. No, there is no maybe I can't, because I'm literally doing it. I'm literally working on leaving. I'm actively making choices and decisions and putting effort into extraditing myself from New York City. So there was no room in my brain to get stuck in the well, what if I can't leave, and what if, and I don't, and this is awful, but I guess I have to get through it, and I know it's gonna be up. No, just work on the thing. We don't need, I don't know. I don't think we need to put the extra negativity on just to make it more dramatic or to make it a better. No, I watch movies for my stories. My life does not need to be a dramatic story all the fucking time. So here's where I'm at. I'm gonna leave it with this. This is my new rule for negativity for now. My feminine NI rule is this. If it is negativity that has anything to do with social media, I immediately don't care. Full stop. If it has to do with something I see on social media, something that a friend, experienced on social media, a video I see on YouTube, anything like that, any like digital media, I immediately don't care. I don't care. I don't care if it's the most important fucking thing in the world. I don't have the energy to care about any negativity that comes from social media. I don't. Because it's exhausting and it's toxic, and it is actively keeping me from making the moves in my life that I need to make right now. The kind of discomfort that I am more than willing to take on is if it is interpersonal. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, if I wronged you, if I did something to upset you or to offend you intentionally or unintentionally, and you are interested enough in preserving our relationship, please, by all means, tell me. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's work it out. Maybe I can change my ways. Maybe I can't. But like, boy, do I want to know if I'm alienating somebody that I care about. Obviously. And listen, I have said some very dumb shit to people that I care a lot about. I have done some very dumb shit to and around people that I care very much about. I need to be called out when I'm being a jackass. 100%. If I am doing something and I am fucking up, call me out. Specifically, say, Raja, this thing that you are doing is hurting other people. I'll be like, oh, shit. Let me take a look at that. And then I may decide, you know what? I think you're being a little sensitive. I think that if that person has a problem, they can come to me themselves. Right? But I want to hear that. I need those taps on the shoulders and those slaps in the face, because sometimes sleep last can be kind of a jackass. That's just a thing. We can all be a jackass, but like, I can go off a cliff a little bit. It's a thing that can happen. Has happened in the past. Will continue to happen in the future. But even that, like, I don't consider that negativity. And if you come at me from a place of respect, understanding, hey, listen, I'm sure you didn't mean it because I know that we're buddies, but like that comment that you made, I know you meant it in good fun. Oh no, what did I do? Oh no. I know that you meant it in good fun. I love it. But listen, I've definitely said some things to people privately that I meant in jest and that they did not receive in jest. And then when they called me out on it, or it was made aware to me that that person didn't appreciate it, I was like, oh my God, I am so sorry. I thought that I thought that was acceptable. Clearly I was wrong. Won't happen again. And then it doesn't. And that's it. We're cool. There's no need for any mishigas. None. So that's my new rule. If it is social media related negativity, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. There's a little bit in this book when he's talking about what would you do if comments were turned off and there were no more likes and you couldn't get the validation of others. I'd be like, thank fucking God. If all of social media was nuked tomorrow, I swear to God, I would be the happiest motherfucker alive. I would be slightly sad that I couldn't. There are certain people who I only contact via Messenger. So it definitely would be sad to lose contact entirely with those people. But yeah, problem solving, no judgment. Problem solving. That's it. That's it. That's the button. That's the end. Problem solving, no judgment. That's it. And once you're in problem solving mode, just stay there. Right? And if you get to a point where you're like, you know what? I've been trying to solve this problem. I can't. I've tried everything I can think of. Let me zoom out a little bit. Is there an no? You know what? Then maybe I just need to move. Maybe this is not a healthy environment. Maybe I need to get out of here. Maybe I need to do something else. Great. You are now on to solving that problem. You're good. You're doing the thing. All right. Thank you all for hanging out with me. This was so much fun. I'm definitely going to keep this time frame in mind because I had so much fun hanging out with you guys, going back and forth. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I used to say this on my old show, but I want to start saying it here because I do mean it and I miss saying it. I love you. I see you. Now let's do the damn thing.